It's good to tell you what I saw. Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to Love in Rare Form. I am Charles Elder.
And I am Lakeisha Elder.
Dr. Lakeisha Elder.
Dr. Lakeisha Elder.
Trying to get her used to saying that. Yes. Dr. Lakeisha Elder.
Yes. Okay.
So thank you for being patient with us, getting on, as we travel through these technical difficulties. But we are glad to be back with you and glad you are with us and going live with us. And today's topic is going to be a little different. It's going to be a little different. So, Miss Dr. Elder, where are we going today?
We are going. When we're going live, let me change some couple of things because we have to make sure a smooth transition. We might have frozen. So if you are watching us by YouTube, we may have frozen just momentarily. So give us just a moment. I think we should be good. But who knows? I think we're still.
We're still good. We're still good.
It's still a little bit fuzzy.
Okay. We're going to get the fuzzy worked out.
But
But we are so glad everybody's back. And I would just like to say to everyone, if I didn't say it last time, happy belated Mother's Day to all you wonderful mothers out there. I want to say that to you. Happy belated Mother's Day. How was your Mother's Day?
It was good.
It was good?
It really was.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I can't complain.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. If you see me distracted, I'm trying to navigate connections.
Okay, so today I'm gonna go ahead and just start our talk because I don't want dead time. So
you never like dead time.
Never.
And I'm a perfectionist. So
yes. So she's gonna keep working, and I'm gonna start talking. How's that sound? Lord. So searching for love without losing yourself. Take a moment and ponder that. Just searching for love without losing yourself. So it has been brought to our attention that we do have singles that watch us, and
correct.
And we want to address some things for them as well. Mm-hmm. Because they may be in the transition of looking for a mate or let me say it this way, praying for a mate, to their heart's desire. But we just want to give you some little tools for your toolbox when you're doing this,
Absolutely.
And it's a good thing to know and be able to have resources to think back on. And I'm not saying get all analytical, but what I'm saying is, you have to guard your heart. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to talk a little bit. And even when you're married, sometimes people get lost without being in love in their marriage. Sometimes they got to rekindle it. They got to look back and start looking for love where they're at in their marriage and not looking for love outside of their marriage.
Looking for love in all the right places.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want. Okay. So where are we?
We are at the point where we just talked about our opening, and right here where you're at. And
so this episode, right, is called Searching for Love Without Losing Yourself. We don't ever want to lose ourselves when we're searching for love, because we can't give our whole selves to a relationship until we know who we are and whose we are. Mm-hmm. So because while love is beautiful, losing your identity while searching for it is dangerous. It really is dangerous. Yes. And you don't want to lose yourself when you are looking for a mate. You want to know who you are.
Yeah. And then you have those that may be trying, single people that they didn't have it when we were there, but, the dating apps and, dealing with certain heartbreaks and, dealing with situations and, situationships, confusion.
Situationships.
Yeah, situationships. That was good. There was a tongue tangler there.
Oh yeah.
Confusion or watching everybody else post engagement pictures. And while still praying and processing their specific situation, trying to find love.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's huge.
yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
That is
Dr.
huge.
Elder.
So humans were, and so let's talk about some of our talking points, because
Okay.
humans were created for connection and companionship. We're created for that. Listen, when God created Adam, he said, man should not be, um, be alone.
Mm.
It is not good for it. It is not good for man to be alone. Good evening, Maria.
Hi,
It is
Maria.
not good for man to be alone. This is what he said in Genesis,
Mhm.
right? Genesis 2. This is why he made Eve. This is why
Mhm.
he made Adam a helpmate. Loneliness can make people settle.
Hold on. Let me put a pin in this. I want to come back to that. Okay.
It's not good for man to be alone.
Absolutely not. So I just want to talk about the two differences as we go through these.
Okay.
You know, so we have companionship and
Yes.
validation. Connection and
Companionship.
Connection and companionship.
Mhm.
Okay, so in connection, companionship is shared presence, mutual activities, and simply enjoying someone's company.
Mhm.
But connection is a psychological pursuit of feeling.
Mhm. Intentional too.
It's intentional,
Because
approved of, showing someone that they're worthy. You have that connection. You're showing them that they're worthy.
absolutely.
And that is a big stand right there on its own, to let someone know that you respect them.
Mhm.
You respect them.
Absolutely.
And again, it's a psychological pursuit, whereas companionship is just a shared presence. Okay? Okay, so go to your next one.
And then loneliness can make people settle. Social media creates pressure and unrealistic timelines. Why? Because sometimes when people are on social media heavily,
Mm-hmm.
we can compare relationships, or we can look at couples that are posting and say, oh man, I need a relationship. Time is winding up. Oh, I want to be like them. Oh, I want to be in love. Oh, I want to post couples pictures and stuff like that. And that could be unrealistic to you as a single.
Mm-hmm. And loneliness for men. And I say this, I'm going to say this, what I went through when I was lonely. I was searching with God and I was lonely. We start thinking, okay, who are we going to be with, or are we going to be with someone? And, if you're not saved, and if you're not pursuing the relationship in a godly manner, you're going to end up being out there looking for love in the wrong places.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it that way.
That's true.
And sometimes people find love in the wrong places. I can't say that they don't. But what I am saying to you men, as for me, I prayed and I was alone. And you start getting what I call that stinking thinking, prior relationships. Oh, women are this. No. We have to check ourselves first. We have to look inward first.
Exactly.
And then find what is compatible to us.
Exactly. And some people are searching for healing, but calling it love.
Say it again.
Some people are searching for healing, but calling it love.
Mm-hmm.
And you could be in a situation where I need healing, and you thinking, oh, I'm in love with this person, but have you really healed in yourself? Because if you haven't healed within yourself, and then you say you're in love with someone else,
Absolutely.
Guess what? You can damage them, and you can further damage yourself. So you don't want to be in a season of healing and then thinking, oh, okay, I found love, but you're still in a season of healing. Don't damage someone else and mess with someone else's psyche when you ain't got it all together, or when you have not healed from something.
Absolutely.
Or past relationship.
Absolutely.
Because the danger is, this is a danger of desperation.
Oh, I like that. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Danger of desperation.
This is a danger of desperation. And then Proverbs 4:23 says, above all else, guard your heart. And so not only do you want to guard your heart, but you want to make sure that you're not damaging someone else's heart. Absolutely. Because when someone else is putting their heart into a relationship with you, and then you have not healed from something, you can damage them. And we don't want to do that.
And men, we are the worst for that, because our pride gets in our way.
Yes.
Our pride gets in our way. Once we start guarding our heart, our pride gets in the way, and we don't want to listen. We don't want to open our eyes. We don't want to open our ears. We don't want to open our heart. We don't want to open our our mouths. So,
Closed off.
we close off. We build walls around us.
Shut down.
And absolutely. But most men, and I'm going to say this, I, as a man, that's what I have done. I've done those things. And it was misery because I created a wall that nobody could get through. And I was alone. Loneliness, back to that key word, loneliness.
Loneliness. So here's some things to think about. I want you to think about, have you ever wanted love so badly that you ignored all the red flags?
Jesus.
When I tell you, and I think I'm not for sure if I shared, I was in a relationship, and other women or other men, you can go into a relationship where you want something so badly, and it could be a trap that completely destroy you. It could be whether domestic violence, when you see certain tendencies there, it could be verbal abuse. It could be social abuse where the person is keeping you from family, keeping you from friends, telling you who you can hang out with, who you can't hang out with. And absolutely, you want to make sure that you honor, if you're in a relationship and you want to honor a person's perspective, absolutely honor that, because, we're not against that. But when it gets to the point where it's control, you want to watch those red flags. And
one quote that always rings in your head, when Maya Angelou said it, when someone shows you who they are, believe it. When someone shows you who you are, believe it.
Right.
I've seen I've had friends that will pop off on their girlfriends or wife, and I tell them, man, listen, you ain't gonna be with her long. You can do what you want to do. I'm just trying to tell you what I'm seeing. I'm your friend. I'm gonna give you the truth, the raw truth. Give me the raw truth, because I want someone to give me the raw truth. Yeah, and I've seen it. I told one friend, I said, we were in Iraq. I told him, I said, man, because he would call his wife, and they would talk, and he would just pop off on her for no reason. And I'd get him to go to church service with me. And I would be like, man, listen, you got to be a little more gentle than that. I said, I know you're going through stuff here. We all are. I said, but you got to remember, she's dealing with stuff back home. She's picking up all the bills, paying the bills, taking care of the kids, stressing all of that. You can't just pop off. I said, because if you do, you're going to be coming home to an empty house.
It could be bad.
Yeah.
So we want to be mindful of that. And then our second point is stop looking for someone to complete you. We hear this a lot. We see it a lot, because a relationship should complement your life and not become your identity. Our identity is in Christ.
Yes.
And so if I'm in a relationship, it should complement my life, not become my identity.
Absolutely.
So Psalms 139:14 says, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Listen, God already made us who we are. Now, do we look at some fine tuning when we become a part of a relationship? Absolutely. But we should not be changing our whole identity just to be in a relationship. Because sometimes people can make you think, and this is where the emotional damage comes in. People can make you think that you have to succumb to what they want you to be, as opposed to praying that you become who God wants you to be.
I want to go back to one key thing you said earlier. Did we talk about the trauma bonding?
No.
All right, let's talk about trauma bonding.
Okay.
I want to talk about trauma bonding. And trauma bonding is a very, very deep, unhealthy emotional attachment to someone.
Yes.
That develops a victim attitude to their abuser. So almost like the Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
You leave, the person abuses you mentally, physically, verbally, socially, and then apologizes.
And you put up with it.
And you come back, and they do it again, and you come back.
Oh, I'm sorry. I only love you because, I wouldn't do it if I loved you. Just see, that's the lie I feel.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother segment.
Yeah. So if you have that and you're in that trauma mindset, it's hard to come out of without help.
Yes.
And I think sometimes when people get into these situations, they get so scared that they don't know how to ask for help. But if you have a friend and he or she is going through something, it's your obligation, if you love that person And here's a key thing. A lot of people don't like to get, and I don't know why this happened.
Okay.
A lot of people don't like to get help from a friend that's supposed to, you quote unquote say you my friend, ride or die buddy, sister. Tell me. If I'm doing something, you see something, speak it. Hey man, I don't think you should be doing that. Because what that does is it saves a relationship between us and between you and me, and then them and I. You see what I'm saying? Agreed. So what I'm saying is when you see somebody going through trauma, severe trauma, you are obligated by Jesus, who said, love thy brother and their sister, and if there's aught against your sister, brother, go to them. You are obligated to love them and go to them and help them.
Absolutely. Because learning self-worth, and then here's some of the things. You got to learn your self-worth before dating. Learn your self-worth before dating. Know who you are.
Come on.
And like I said, know who you are. And if you made it this far in life and you're feeling good, don't let somebody damage that and tell you who you're not when you already know who you are. Healing childhood wounds. Make sure that we talked about it before. Heal if you got some childhood wounds that you're dealing with, heal those first. Heal those again. Heal those first if it's something from your childhood, because you never want to bring something from your childhood that you have not healed from into your relationship. And then here you are giving your significant other the little child in you, or the little girl in you, or the little boy in you, and you're giving them that person because you're still stuck in those childhood wounds that you haven't healed from. So, and another thing is becoming emotionally mature.
Or emotionally unavailable.
Yeah, listen, that's a huge one too. Because if we're emotionally unavailable, then what's the point of being with someone? You know what I mean? Well, because love is emotion. Relationship is emotion. Being with someone is all emotion. So you always want to try to be emotionally available and emotionally mature while you're in a relationship.
So one key thing is when you're doing when you're emotionally unavailable, to me it would seem like you are chasing connection. Chasing connection. That means you're in an exhausting cycle of repetitive connection seeking to find somebody to meet you. But it goes back to what you said. You got to know who you are.
That's true.
Once you know who you are, and you open up and you find that in the mirror, you look in the mirror and you, like Michael Jackson said, the man in the mirror, look in the mirror, find out who you really are. Absolutely. And go forward from there, and then go out and find someone. But one key thing I want to talk about right there real quick. I just want to put a pin in for FYI for your information. This is for everybody's toolboxes. For your toolbox. Put this in put you in the toolbox. You don't have to put it up there with the saw and the hatchet, but just put it in the toolbox, what I'm about to say.
Love you too, fam.
All right, fam. So listen, when you have this situation to where you're searching connection, and the connection seems to have you in a cycle, and you're looking in the mirror and you're saying, hey, what am I doing wrong? What's going on with me? Questioning yourself. But then you figure it out. Here's the key thing. Now listen to what I'm getting ready to say. You figure it out. You find out who you are. I'm Charles Elder. I like my eggs over easy or scrambled with cheese and peppers and a nice omelet. And I've had childhood trauma, not abuse, but but here's the key thing. When you have something, and you meet somebody, and you see the relationship is starting to build, you have to be honest, transparent, and share that. So that way, when something happens, that person knows if you start acting a certain way, you start responding a certain way.
Or if you're triggered.
They know how to handle that, or help you with that, or help you through that.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So it's all comes around in a big circle.
It does.
Okay?
It does.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Elder, for the time. I reclaim my time, as they say on Congress.
Reclaim my time. Well, talk about the men's perspective. Men often feel pressure to do what? because we want to talk about the pressures of single men and single women.
Woo.
So let's talk about that. Let's transition into that part.
Well,
It's
single.
on the next page.
I know the single men. For single men, here's that. I think you done jumped 4 or 5 pages before that. But anyway, single men, and I'm gonna give you a perspective from my view as a single man when I was single. Years.
20.
Don't get it wrong,
28
man.
years ago.
Yeah, when I met her, I was just literally just in the mindset that, hey, I'm just gonna chill, have a good time, party. Whoever I end up with, I end up with.
Really?
I wasn't trying to have no serious relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we do real talk on this. And for those that came on, this is love in rare form. So we do real talk. And I say I'm gonna be with who I want to be with, and that's how it was. So, you know,
that's true.
I just didn't have a mindset at that time to settle down. I really did. And I did not really want to settle down because I had just came out of a divorce. And I just didn't want to I didn't want to get divorced again. I mean, married again. I didn't want to have to go through that again. And, you know, I met you and then I was like, wow, she's showing me something a little bit different, you know, spiritually. You know, I've always been to church, don't get me wrong. But you showed me something different. And because everybody in her family is ministers. So, and I really wouldn't have had a choice. But what really did it for me is like she would catch the bus. Well, she would ride, her aunt would bring her up. And then she started catching the bus, her and the youngest son. He was 18 months. She would get on the bus, ride that bus 45 minutes to an hour to come see me. And I was like, whoa. I said, this girl really into me. So then we would go to the park, feed, you know, something like a movie. Go to the park, walk around, feed the ducks. I take her back. We go back to the house, and
we was in love. This when you was in love for real, and
yeah,
not for financial reasons.
Not for financial reasons, for sure.
Right.
And I would cook her I'd make her some lunch, and we'd have lunch, and you know, then she would catch the last bus going back home. And that told me, you know, I had to come out of self as a single person and really look at this relationship because, you know, I always said I wanted a woman to give me that type of sacrifice. And that's what she did. So then when we got married, now as a married man, I had to give her that sacrifice. I was working at Burger King. Then I would walk a half a mile up to the food line and work food line all night, go back home, get about 4 or 5 hours of sleep, go back to Burger King. But before that happened, I was working with Hope Gas, and then Hope Gas got bought out, and they let a whole bunch of us go.
Right.
And
so then working 2 jobs.
Yeah, I started working 2 jobs because I had to give her that. So what I'm saying is, you know, when we as men commit, we commit. If we truly commit, we're going to sacrifice. We're going to commit, just like you sacrifice, just like women sacrifice. Yeah. But we have to show that back. And I'm going to say this, I show that back.
You did.
I show that back. That's just like now, you know, transparency. If something happens to me, she's going to be well taken care of. Not that I want anything happening. So if something happened to me, y'all investigate it. Pam.
You are funny. You got jokes tonight.
Oh, Jesus. but you know, God has blessed us. God has blessed our marriage. We've been through a lot. Ups, downs, around the circles.
And round the circles. Yes.
And
but we're talking about singles.
But let me get to it.
Singleness.
Let me get to it. So as a married person, I look back on my single life. And I thank God for the single time I had because it let me reflect.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Men, we have to reflect. If you're not ready to go into the relationship as a single person, don't do it. Don't take your drama to her mama, because that's where it's going to go. Don't take your drama to her mama, because if she's tight with her mama, she's going to tell her mama everything. Don't do that.
You know it.
And, you know, her dad may have a pistol, so I don't know.
I've never heard that statement before.
Don't take that drama. Don't take your drama to your mama. Yeah.
Don't take your drama to her mama.
See, I got a little something up there.
You owned it tonight. You know.
All right, Dr. Elder. I rescind my last 5 minutes.
No, you're right, and that's something that being single and being a single woman, some of the pressures women come against is age expectations, and some aren't. Age may not be a big thing, because you got women who are looking for somebody the same age as them. You may have some cougars out there. Listen, to each his own. Make sure they're legal, but I'm just saying. And then fear of missing their chance. Sometimes when women get, for me, I think it's between that age of 25 to like 45, 50, where it's that 25 year range, 25 to 50, where women are really like, okay, I need to get married. I'm really looking. I'm really searching for someone, because I don't want to miss my chance. And not only do single women look at the age difference, but because their biological clock is ticking. And so they want to be, at a good age to where, hey, I'm single. I've got my own place. I got my own job. I'm established. I love the Lord. I do right by people. And I want a family now.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can be hard, because some men look at that like, well, you got all that. What do you need me for? Well, it's not that I need you, but I want companionship. I need the Lord, but I want you. You know what I mean? And so sometimes we have to look at those things too, because that's women's perspective. We establish ourselves, we establish what we have, but it's not so that I don't need, I don't want a man, because everybody wants companionship. Women want for companionship just as well as men do.
And for you women, I'm saying this to the single women. If a man comes to you and he says, what do you got financially? That should be a red flag, because he's looking at your finances and not your heart. If he hides his emotions, oh, everything's good. I don't want to talk about it. I'm all right. I'll get, let's go. That's a red flag, because he's hiding how he truly thinks.
Well, and let's go back to the financial part, because I think there can be financial conversations that can be healthy. You know what I mean? So if I'm establishing or looking at, hey, I'm going to establish a relationship with you, this is looking like it can be long term, then, the woman as well as the man can say, hey, you know what, where do each of us stand? Or do I need to make up the gap somewhere? Or where are we together? How do we bring our finances together? And do we need to go to like maybe some type of financial freedom course to say, hey, you know what, this is where she is, this is where I am, and this is what we do to come together. But I wouldn't say that, a man or a woman should use it as a detriment to say, okay, I want to know where you are first before I even commit to anything.
Absolutely. But there's people out there like that.
There's people out there like that, but I think it should be a healthy conversation when you're talking about finances.
Absolutely. I agree 100% on that. It should be a fruitful conversation,
Very fruitful.
Especially if you've been dating for a while.
Yeah.
But if a person just comes straight out
and asking that question, yes.
That's a red flag. Well, let me say it this way. It's a red flag for Charles L. At that time, it's a red flag for Charles L. She never did that, but it's a red flag for Charles L. And if a man appears strong when he's broken, or a woman when she appears strong when she's broken, once again, that goes back to the reflection part. Put that in your toolbox.
Because when people are broken, sometimes when you appear, okay, I'm strong or I'm fine or whatever, you really are not fine. I had a reality check just today. You're really not fine. And so you can put on that facade, but people who really care about you and love you, they will let you know, listen, it's okay to not be okay.
That's right. That's right. Say that again, Doctor.
It's okay to not be okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you need people who are going to, again, I always talk about your circle. You need people who are just going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you can put on that facade for everybody else, but those who know you and love you, let me break it down to you.
And I want to say this too, because I know we're talking about the singles, but this also goes for marriages.
Yes.
It's okay. It is okay to go to your spouse and tell your spouse you're not happy at this moment. Tell your spouse what is on your heart and mind. Because if you do that, that's concealment, that is deception, and it is not godlike. You need to be honest. Go to the one next to you. Go to the one you love and talk to her or him.
Right.
Okay.
And let's talk about some transparent conversations, because are you searching for love or avoiding loneliness? And that's one of the things that, as a single person, you gotta think about that. Am I searching for love or am I avoiding loneliness? And ask yourself, do you actually want commitment or do you want just attention? Because if you want commitment, that's a whole nother mature way of life. But if you just want attention, then you may want to kind of look at that. Why do you need attention? Why do you want attention? And look at those things. Those are some serious questions. You gotta ask that.
That goes back to companionship and commitment. That goes back to, am I here for you to validate you, or am I here just as a ride by to say hi, let's hang out? You know.
And
go ahead.
Oh, and everybody has to heal from their last relationship. You know, I had past relationships, as well as my husband had past relationships. So we had to make sure that we were healing from those things before we came together, because sometimes, you know, breakups can be completely brutal and can almost wipe a person out to, like, I got nothing else to give, and take you to a place where you think you'll never redeem yourself or come back from. But you can,
Absolutely.
and you'll love again, because it's just not the one. Listen, sometimes that's just not the one God had for you. And then we can think that, oh, this person had all of this and everything I wanted in a man. And God was like, no, I got something more. I got something better. You just wait and see. Because I'm not going to just let any old thing and any old person take care of the heart that I placed in you. Take care of the woman or the man that I've made you and I've helped you to become. And so sometimes breakups may be a blessing in disguise, or past relationships could be. Listen, I'm trying to tell you right now, if I was probably in a relationship before I met my husband, listen, I think if I would have held on to any past relationships, I would have been rocking an orange jumpsuit right about now.
Don't rock no orange.
Because I'm trying to tell you, they will take you to a place.
Don't rock
They will
no
take it.
orange.
But we was healed, you know, during our time and I don't even know if I was looking. Actually, I was right in the midst of a brutal relationship. I think I was coming out of a relationship that was very, very physically abusive. And you talk about domestic violence. It was there. I was in the midst of it. And even when I met Charles, it was like, I'm really not. He'll tell you, I brushed him off a couple of times because I'm thinking, I'm already in a relationship. But when I tell you, when you're single and you're just accepting any old thing, the enemy, the devil, will have you fooled and have you tricked and have you thinking that God don't have nothing better, because you still holding on to this. What you mentioned, the Stockholm syndrome. You'll be stuck somewhere thinking, okay, well, this is what I need, this is what I want. But sometimes we can hold on to something that can literally destroy us. It can literally destroy us. And God is saying, let it go. I've got something over here. Just let that go. Let me help you heal, because I've got something for you. And it's coming.
And I'm here.
Yes. Well, yes. That is for, listen, that is for. So here's some red flags that you need to look at. Constant needing validation. If you're meeting people, or if you're out there dating and they need constant validation, check that. That could be a red flag. Ignoring boundaries. Oof. That could be a red flag. Entertaining inconsistency. Inconsistency. Well, you said this, but you're doing this. You're doing this, but you said this. You said that you love your mama, but Mother's Day, you ain't want to be bothered. You know, different inconsistency. Be a person of your word.
Mm.
Inconsistent. Confusing attraction with alignment.
Mm.
That is one of the biggest ones for men and women, because everything seems like it fits. You know, they say opposites attract, but you know, similarities attract too. And you think, oh, it fits. We just get along together and we don't have no arguments. We don't have no problems. And then next thing you know, you thinking it's God's alignment, and it's not. So check those red flags as well, because those can get us in trouble.
Yes, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
it can get us in trouble. I'm not going to go down that road. Refusing accountability. Woo! Listen, that's your fault. When somebody always constantly saying it's your fault and you're dating and you don't want to take accountability, listen, it takes two.
Takes two.
It takes two. It's not about is your fault, my fault. Okay, this was my part in it, you know, and I'll accept my accountability, but let's talk about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Those are some of the red flags. So what are some of the green flags?
The green flags. So let me turn my page.
Target.
So I'm getting in trouble, y'all. I think I'm on the wrong page again. I'm on the wrong page.
Some of the green flags.
There we go.
Get
Emotional stability.
Get it together, mister. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lordy, y'all, have fun with me. Have fun with me tonight. Emotional stability
Emotional stability
is a green flag. If you meet somebody and they seem to have themselves together emotionally, and you know, emotions come and go. You know, if a man cries, that's a good emotion. That's a strong person. If a man is honest and he comes and he gives you straight honest opinion or discussion, that's a good emotion. If a man is not as much as nice but kind, you know, that's an action. You have to remember the heart. The heart, the emotions come through the heart. So guard your heart. Always keep your heart.
Guard your heart with all diligence.
Consistency.
And let me go back to emotional stability, because here's one of the things that I have learned from a very wise woman who gives such great advice. She said that if you're dating, and I never did understand it until recently, and not because, but I was just reflecting on something. But one of the things she said was to go through the 4 seasons. You know, what happens when they're angry? What happens when they're mad? What happens when they're happy? What happens when they're sad? What happens when they're frustrated? What happens when they feel hopeless? Like, go through all these seasons, you know what I mean? And find out what's going on. Don't be afraid to, because you're looking for answers, because you're investing your life. If I'm going to invest my life and place my heart in your hands, and if I'm going to connect and I'm going to build a life with you, I need to know how you handle different seasons in your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't want to go a little more deeper into that?
No, I'm just saying, I mean, it's very important, and I think it's something that every couple should know. And there was a test out there that I found online. It says, is when you're in a relationship or when you're dating, it's 100 questions. Listen, that was a whole lot of questions. 100 questions to ask before saying I do. Look that up, and it's an eye opener. It's an eye opener, because it tells you how to just kind of reflect and look at things differently.
So some more green flags, good things. Have honest communication. We've already talked about that in one of our segments. Crucial communication is honest communication. Have honest communication. Have peace, not confusion. Peace, not confusion.
Yes, indeed.
And have spiritual maturity. Spiritual maturity, and because spiritual maturity is a lifelong, continuous process.
Oh my gosh.
It's deepening your character. It's the wisdom and the inner peace that you have. Ooh. So, you know, 1 Corinthians 14:33, it says, for God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. So you want to have peace and not confusion. You want to have that spiritual morality, because when you don't have spiritual morality, you start having doubt. You have doubt, you start having confusion, you start second guessing everything.
Second guessing.
So don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Not as a single dating or a married couple, just personally. Just personally. Because I've done that. I come down here and I sit and I start getting that stinking thinking in my head, and I'll say, "Oh Lord, let me get a Bible verse. Let me walk around and see what my wife got." Because my wife, she posts Bible verses up on the wall. You better not miss one. Because if she asks you what that verse is and you miss it, we got a conversation.
And I've had it up for months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
There's a reason. There's a reason.
I love her.
The house is covered in the word.
Yes, literally. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
So let's talk about kingdom love versus counterfeit love. Because sometimes you can have lust versus covenant. Mm-hmm. We talked about covenant before and being in a covenant relationship. Or is this just a lust,
Mm-hmm. But, one key thing, I want to just throw this pen in there. Throw this pen in there.
What's your pen? What's your pen?
I'm going to social media. Social media puts more stuff out about lust.
Oh my gosh, yes.
They used to have covenant movies, movies with some substance. Yes. But now it's all, everything is basically on the lust. So you really have to watch what you guard your gates.
That's true.
You need to guard your gates. Make sure that, if you see someone that's attractive, pass it through your mind and go forward. Don't sit there and dwell on it, because men can, men, and I'm just saying as a man, okay. Beautiful women walk by. There's beautiful women all over the world. You're my beautiful one, baby. But, there are beautiful women out there, just like there are good-looking men out there in the world. We have to be honest about this. We have to be honest.
We do.
And, you can't ponder on that. You have to look beyond that. Look at their spiritual. Look at their forehead. That's one key thing. I'm going to give this to all men. I'm going to give y'all my how-to I make it through the world of beautiful women around me when my wife is there. I look at a woman's forehead. What? If I look at her forehead, I ain't looking at nothing else.
What?
I look at her forehead. That's right. I look at your forehead. If you see me talking to you, you're going to think I'm looking at your eyes, but I'm looking at your forehead. I'm just giving you my tidbits.
Well, listen. So we're going to wrap this up because it is 8:00. So we're going to wrap this up because we just wanted to give some love to our single friends that are out there. Again, I had a great conversation with a single friend of mine yesterday who just kind of triggers some emotion because we always talk about married couples, but there are some singles out there who's looking for love, and we love our single friends as well. And so when you're looking for love, make sure that again, who you are. Look for those red flags, but also look for those green flags and know who you are, because listen, everything ain't wrong with you when people try to say, when there's a broken relationship, everything. And that's one of the first things that people go to is, what did I do wrong? What was wrong with me? Everything's not wrong with you. Mm-hmm. God just probably has something different or something better. So we love y'all. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Maria.
Hey, Tracy.
Taiwan. Hello, family. Pastor Ty. Hello. We love y'all. And listen, keep looking, keep watching Love and Rare Form. And we will be back next week because we still got to get to our ebook. It might be up on our website before we get back next week, but we are working on it. So be looking for that because it is going to be a great interactive book for you to tap into, and it'll be a great resource and a tool.
Absolutely. You're going to close us out in prayer this time?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Lord, we thank you, oh God, for everyone who has come on our website, who follows us with Love and Rare Form, oh God, whether they're in rare relationships with God, real relationships, God, we love each and every one, oh God. We thank you for them. We thank you for love. We thank you for each other. We thank you for being able to speak to just great topics of God and be honest about our brokenness and our red flags and even our green flags, and just making sure that we are whole and we are who you have called us to be. Help us to be whole. Help us to be healed and renewed, oh God, before we bring damage to relationships or to someone else's heart. We ask that you continue to guide and lead us in all truth and all honesty, oh God, that everything that we do and say gives you all the glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for getting on with us on Love and Rare Form, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
We thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you all.
Yes.